Whenever anyone asks me for a goal planner recommendation, Powersheets is always at the top of my list as one of the most flexible and comprehensive systems out there. And you guys, Cultivate is releasing their new 2026 Powersheets in just a few weeks. Even though I get excited for this launch every year, I think this year has some of my very favorite covers of all time. And we're also going to walk through their entire system so that you can understand why so many people swear by Powersheets for accomplishing their goals. And if this video helps you find your next planner and you're not already supporting another creator, consider using my affiliate link when you purchase. It only takes a couple of seconds and it supports me more than you know. Now, I have already unboxed the Powersheets, but I wanted to put this little band back on. Isn't this cute? You get like this belly band on the outside of your box that matches your cover. So unfortunately, cover reveal, it's already done. I chose the Navy Blooms cover, but I want to tell you guys about their covers this year. Now, as I said, I picked out the Navy Blooms, but they have 4 other covers. And this year, it's going on the theme of seasonality. You guys know how much I love seasonality in my life and changing things with not only the seasons outside, but the seasons of our lives. And that's exactly what their covers are representing. I'm sure you're going to be able to read all about that under each cover color on their website. I have 2 other covers here to show you today. One of those covers is called Snowfall, and we're going to see that in the Daily Dated Planner. And the other cover I have is called Berry, and that one I have in the Fresh Start Undated Daily Goal Planner. Maybe you got a hint there. One was called Snowfall, that's the winter color. And then there's a Berry, that's the summer color. There's a Leaf for spring and an Acorn for fall. I know, you guys. I mean, I almost felt like I had to get the acorn because I'm obsessed with fall. And if I wasn't getting something for my channel and to show on Instagram, I probably would have. But that one had neutral tabs. All the other colors have these colorful tabs. And the acorn is their neutral one. And also just being a kind of a tan color, kind of like an acorn, although it looked beautiful. I didn't think it would show up the best in photographs and videos. So I wanted to pick a vibrant, happy one. And that's why I went with Navy Blooms, because this is their cover that kind of combines all the colors of all 4 seasons. And they call it kind of like their full circle. It has a bit of every season in it. All the other covers are coated linen, and I'll be able to show you those on the other books that I got. When you open your Powersheets, of course, you notice you have a beautiful pattern pocket in here, and you will be able to see on their site all the different pictures of what pocket comes in what planner. You get all these extras with your Powersheets. You get a sticker sheet, your dates of holidays here, and your 2026 at a glance. I actually really like this card. I do cycle tracking on this card, even though I keep track of it on my iPhone. It's nice to see it in print. And this is just a really nice card that you can keep like in your nightstand drawer for that purpose or whatnot. My word of the year card, I love how they include these. These are just fun extras that come with your planner. What matters most? This card is brand new this year. And they talked a little bit about in our Zoom call about this card being used for maybe a phrase or a line or a quote or an answer from the prep work in here. So they're just giving you another extra card that you could put up on your bulletin board or your mirror and have like a focus for the year. So I love those extras because you have that gold foiling. They're on hard cardstock. Everything from Cultivate What Matters is top-notch quality, you guys. I love how your corners are rounded. You guys know how I feel about pokey corners. It's a personal preference, but I'm a very tactile person, and how things feel in hand is really important to me. You have your shiny gold coil on all the Powersheets. This one, your Navy Blooms, has gold foiling all over it and all those little flowers, gold foiling here. And here's what your back looks like with the little Cultivate What Matters. And this is just a smooth surface that anything would wipe right off of. Powersheets is an intentional goal planner. It is not a weekly planner. It has 0 weekly planning pages. It does have monthly planning pages, but that is only to help you facilitate planning your goals out. And that is the only dated thing in this planner. Of course, your planner does say 2026 all over it. Powersheets help you uncover what matters most and set big picture goals. It helps you break down your goals into a realistic plan, and then you get to check your progress and watch as your little by little steps add up. Your pocket is not going to come off. There is no pocket on the back, but your beautiful gold lines in this one. There are so many pages in Powersheets with color on them. Like just, you will see when we flip through here. So much color on so many pages. And I absolutely love that about Powersheets. Now they do have what they call their more neutral option in the acorn cover. And I know that does not have colorful tabs. I'm not sure how much color are on the inside pages in that neutral option. So we will all have to go check their website for that, because as of the time I'm filming this video, these items are not up on their website. And so I am not able to view them right now while I'm filming this video. You have your gold foiling right there on the front. You have thick 80-pound paper. It's a smooth paper, but not like extra smooth at all. It's smooth, and I would say with maybe the tiniest bit of tooth, but I wouldn't call it a toothy paper. It's a really nice paper to write on. Put your name right in here. They have our mission. Your fresh start begins here. Welcome to a whole new way of doing life. You have your year's progress here in a roadmap. And one of the minor changes they made this year, there were only, I think, about 3 minor changes this year. And I'm really glad they had the Zoom call for the affiliates, because I honestly probably wouldn't have even noticed these changes. One of them is they've added your year in review. They've made it a roadmap to match the front, just to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more whimsical, and maybe drawing people in to fill it out before they leave their planner, because I love to look back on things like this. Like, what's the person you're most grateful for? What were your wins, your favorite memory, your biggest challenge, your best meal or recipe, your most memorable adventure? But it is really fun that it's like in a little roadmap, because we are just going through life on our journey. Now, we are starting out right now in the prep work section in the beginning. Your power sheets have 55 pages of prep work. Some people buy power sheets just for this prep work. I have had numerous people tell me that they're on again, off again with using it every month, but that they always do the prep work section and they enjoy it so immensely, and it brings out things that they never would have known that they wanted to work on. And so the prep work section is really valuable. Now, some people can work through it in just like 2 or 3 days if you just want to sit down, and work on it for a bit every day. But other people love to stretch it out like over a longer period of time, like a whole month leading up to the new year. So we are not going to go in detail over every single page in the prep work, because we have those other planners to get to in this video too. But first, we are going to go over the star of the show. You have a attending list checkoff page. I mean, just look how much color and how fun they make it. Brainstorm your year ahead, name what fires you up, learn from the past, evaluate where you are now. This is their cultivated life evaluation. And one of the minor changes that they made in Power Sheets this year was the colors in one of these. So family used to be hot pink. Now the hot pink has moved to spiritual and personal growth. And so they just flip-flop those. And they're always trying to think of the most minor things or listen to their community feedback. And they heard that just maybe families with all boys weren't feeling like the pink for family. Although, hello, pink can be for anyone, can be for boys too. But I understand what they're saying. They felt like yellow was a really good family color. And I agree, since yellow and mustard yellow are one of my favorite colors. So you go through this cultivated life evaluation and you have your 8th category for you to name for yourself. You have community, family, finances, health plus wellness, home plus spaces, spiritual plus personal growth, work plus learning, and then you have a blank category. Upgrade your mindset, negative mindset to positive mindset. One thing I love about Power Sheets is the pages are so beautiful. It actually makes me want to work in it. It draws me into the book. And I have done the prep work pages on years when I didn't use the Power Sheets. Just because they are so beautiful, they're really well thought out, and they guide you step by step. They give you a lot of guidance. It's not like, as you notice for these 2 pages, 1 paragraph of guidance, a couple sentences. No, they're giving you several paragraphs of guidance before you jump in to do this activity. So you do feel like you have a coach there with you, helping you. They give you examples and guidance for every activity going through the prep work. And then as you'll see how beautiful the pages are. My most purposeful year, choose your focus, brainstorm your goals in the different categories, set goals that stick. So they talk to you about that, about how to come up with your goals. They talk about finish line goals, habit goals, and they give you examples. Like, if this were your yearly goal, steward my finances well, what would this look like? If this were my yearly goal, grow my friendships, what would this look like? Then you have your yearly goals right here. But don't worry, every 90 days you get to reevaluate them and make changes. You can use their flags and their sticker book if you want to color code your goals to their colors for each life category. And you do not have to come up with 8 goals though. Come up with 1 or come up with 8. They even say that, and I have always said that. I've never come up with 8 goals when I've used Powersheets. I've usually had 3, 4 goals. I think 5 was the most ever. So do not feel pressure to fill them all out. They just want to give you plenty of room in case you want that many goals. I still remember the very first year I used Powersheets, they had a plastic coil, which I actually loved. And like one of those almost like placemat, plastic placemat like covers, but it was very durable. And I used those Powersheets up that year and learned their system. And I learned so many things from it. So if you've never used a goal planner with like a very intensive goal setting system, I wouldn't call it intensive. If you've never used a goal planner with a very comprehensive goal setting system, and yet you're wondering about it, you're kind of leaning towards it, I would say it's very valuable to try at least one time. Then you'll know if it works for you or if it doesn't. And even if it's not something you're going to do every single year, because I do understand those of you with that mindset, I think it's so valuable to try out because you learn lots of tips and tricks on how to work through things, how to make action steps, how to navigate your goals, how to push yourself forward, how to figure out what you should really stick with and maybe what should drop away. Look at this beautiful page. It's time to bloom where you're planted. How do you grow a garden? You tend to it little by little. Let's go. Now you get your goal action pages. I love that you get a 2-page spread for each goal that you've made. So you have 8 of these up front. You will write your yearly goal here and why are you motivated to achieve it? Then resources needed, what area of life is it in? What does success look like for this goal at the end of 2026? What might get in the way of you making progress on this goal? And how will you have fun with this goal along the way? And what does this goal include? Habits, finish lines, or a big dream? Then this page helps you break it down into the different quarters of the year to brainstorm habits or action steps that you might do or implement in each quarter of the year. And then what is your first step on this goal and when? When are you going to do that? So you have 8 of those 2-page spreads. And a lot of times on our goals, the reason why we don't move forward on goals or projects that are bigger is because really we are just stuck. We don't know those first little steps to take. And this helps you break it down, even breaking it down, thinking about what season of the year based on your family life, your personal life, or your work life, or the weather. Like, where is it best to fit in those action steps? I think that is crucial in making a goal or a project move forward, is to have those baby step action steps that are small so that we know what to do. I love these dot grid pages that are thrown in here that are colorful with white dots on them. Pace yourself for success. And then you have broken down quarter by quarter. They call it season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. And you have your months. So this is just a big spot that you can break down all those goals that you just detailed. So combining all those together and what you said you were going to work on in each season, what would that look like combining them all here? Then you can see if you're overloaded in any certain area of the year. Then you have your word of the year and why I chose this word, a dot grid page. Visualize what's ahead, and this page is perforated so that you could tear it out and post it up somewhere. They have a QR code in here with more information and resources for you. And then they're teaching you about the tending list. The tending list, you guys, I've always called magic. From my very first video with Powersheets, don't quote me on that, but I think I said that from the very first. It is the magic of the system. That was the page that made me get stuff done every month and helped me see drop by drop how I was moving forward. I think Cultivate What Matters calls it the heartbeat of Powersheets is the tending list, but I call it the magic page. So they give you 3 simple steps to do with the tending list and 3 powerful reminders. They also talk to you about the monthly calendar pages, the tending list, the monthly planning pages. So it's not like they're just giving you this without any guidance on ideas of how to use it and how for the purpose that it was made. And then they give you a little reminder about perfection. I'm loving the yellow dot grid page opposite that. Another colorful dot grid page. Every tabbed page is very thick cardstock that is coated. So nothing's going to happen to these pages, and laminated tabs that are gold foiling on both sides. Here's where I did my pen test. So before we go through what is in every month for you, let's look at the pen test. Like I said, this is thick 80-pound paper. I did fountain pens, lots of other pens, a really dark mild liner, another dark mild liner, a paper mate flare. So I did some really dark things. And on the back of this calendar page, you see absolutely nothing. Nothing. I can't even tell that page is written on. No ghosting whatsoever. And I wanted to make sure that I picked a page that was pretty white on the back, not with a bunch of writing, so you could really see the pen test. There are some extras in January that you don't have in the other months because it's starting out the quarter, so we do need to go through it here. Important to-dos, goals to make progress on my calendar and on my mind. So just those 4 boxes, kind of like a brain dump at the beginning of the month. It's your monthly reset. And then you come to your cultivated life evaluation check-in. Assign each area of your life a number between 1 and 10 for the past month. This will help you celebrate progress and notice areas to nourish. So I like that you're checking in like based on the last month, how am I feeling in each of these areas? And so where do I want to put my focus? Then you do have a dated monthly calendar spread to help you plan out goals or projects. You have a core truth at the top. Any day can be a fresh start. Dot grid for notes, a little header space up top, and a typical Sunday start on your calendar. I also love how every page in Powersheets is numbered. So if you need to index anything or remember where something is, you can. Believe in little by little progress. So they're just giving you some coaching here. This is your routines reset. You do not have these pages in the normal months. This is because you're starting a new quarter. So this routines reset will only be every quarter. You also have a scanner here for more routines resources, morning routine, evening routine, weekend reset routine, and blank for any other routine that you need. Then this is also done quarterly, weekly rhythm ideas for the season. And they talk you through it about how to see how you want your week to flow and being able to map out those time block things in there. So this can help you map out, like if one of your goals or habits is, working out, just to use that cliche one, or doing yoga or taking a walk every day, is how is that going to fit in your weekly rhythm in your schedule? Because you actually have to know where that's going to go to be able to get it done. Then you have a break it down page. This is in every monthly page. I'll show you a typical month next. So you have room for working on up to 6 goals, breaking them down for the month. Thinking, what goals am I working on this month? You might only have 1. That's okay. But then breaking it down into what action steps are you going to be working on that month. The smaller you can make your next step, the more likely you are to take it. Then you have the magic page, the heartbeat of Powersheets, the tending list. It doesn't look necessarily like magic, but trust me, if you're using it, it feels like it's a really important part of Powersheets. I would say the most important page to me every single month. Encouraging words, priority, monthly goals or projects, which you will draw in on the progress bar. So these are things you're working on for the whole month. Weekly action items or rhythms, things that you will check off for each week. And then daily action items or habits. And I like the break in the habit tracker by week. That makes a daily habit tracker easier to follow and also see how you were doing each week on each different habit. You have room for 7 habits, 6 weekly action items or rhythms, and 10 monthly goals or projects. Then this page being perforated, one year I tore these out every single year and put them on a clipboard that sat right next to my desk so I could kind of pick it up every week or even on the daily and check it out and see where I was and check off the habits. So you could put it on your fridge, stick it in your planner, or on a clipboard, bulletin board, wherever you want it. On the back is your month in review. Reflection reaps rewards. You have favorite memories, gratitude, action steps I'm proud of, goals that are growing well, what's not working, what I read or listened to, and song on repeat. And you have this month, I cultivated what matters, pivoted like a pro and didn't give up, and moving on to a new month. Well, sometimes we do just say that. The best things in life grow slowly. And here's your February. So here's what a typical month looks like that doesn't have those extra pages. You have your monthly reset page. Then you go straight into your monthly layout. Then you have your break it down page, your tending list, and your month in review. So that is a typical month. When you get to the end of a quarter, so at the end of March, Let me show you how that looks. You'll have your typical March pages first, just the same as the other months. After your tending list, then it's a big, beautiful page saying your refresh is here. So this is your quarterly refresh. You're going to go over your cultivated life evaluation, put in your previous number, the number that you think you are now, and then you're going to make a plan from there to move forward with lots of guidance and coaching. Then you're going to put in your refreshed yearly goals because you could have decided to drop some off. You could have added some new ones in. You could be working on the same ones. Then you plan for the season ahead. You put the goals that you plan to work on for the next quarter and the action steps. And you have that again on the back and continuing over. So you could have up to your 8 goals. Then you have your routines reset here again for morning, evening, weekend, and any other routine you want to put in. Then a dot grid notes page opposite that. And then your weekly rhythms, ideas for the new season coming up, for the new quarter. And then a colorful dot grid page. And then you're back into your normal month. And as we go through here, you can see the new colors on the tabbed pages, which of course reflect the new colors in their collection. So then we have May and June, and in June, you have another quarterly refresh at the end. So another beautiful page marking your reset and those same pages back here. So that just repeats itself. And when we get to December, we have some special pages at the end. This is after your last page month in review in December. Then you have your 2026 year in review. You have a couple of dot grid notes pages. And then you have your you did it page. You did. We finished another year, you guys. It's very weird to be flipping through a 2026 planner and thinking about the end of 2026 already when we're just not done with 2025 yet. But that's what we do as planners, right? I love that the power sheets are not super thick because it also makes them easier to write in when you're on a table or a desk. And being that you have a hard cover on here, they're also easy to write in if you're sitting on the couch or in your bed, and they feel very good in hand. So that wraps up our power sheets. I don't want to forget to tell you if you've used power sheets or if you're looking into using them, I'd love to hear down in the comments from you. Share with everybody in our group here so we can have a conversation down there. Okay, next up is our season by season daily planner. It comes in this beautiful sturdy box, which is even thicker than the power sheets box because the daily planner is thicker. And it says season by season on there really beautifully, but still just a cream colored and makes a great storage box. So let's just walk through this one. You get a 2026 list of holidays here, and on the back, your 2026 at a glance on that nice cardstock page. You get different stickers from the power sheets. I love those seasonal stickers and the really durable pocket up front. This is their cover. So we should talk about this cover because this is a cover option that's also available in power sheets. This is their snowfall cover. So it's this beautiful like ice blue. You have the gold rounded corner protectors again, gold foiling there, bright gold coil. This is what your back looks like. It's like a coated linen. It feels very nice in hand and durable. You have the beautiful navy blooms coordinating pocket. It comes with this pop-in ruler. Your nameplate page has flowers on it and gold foiling. To everything, there is a season. The year ahead, you have a little roadmap here to write in your 2026 goals and some coaching there. You have a little coaching on planting good goals, and you have your first quarter here. My goals for the season ahead, memories I want to make. In the season ahead, I want more of and less of, and what matters most in this season. And you know what that page in the daily planner just reminded me? I forgot to tell you about the third minor change that they did to power sheets this year. This page used to be a yes/no list, and now it's what I want more of and what I want less of. What will have mattered, what won't have mattered. So naming what matters and making decisions. Because the what I want more of and what I want less of more opens it up to the fact that sometimes we can't eliminate some things. So some things, that we might want to put on a yes/no list, like they can't be completely eliminated, but we can maybe figure out how to just dial down on them a bit or have less of that in our life. So in the season ahead, I want more of and less of and what matters most in the season. So you have a really nice page to start out your quarter. And then you have weekly rhythm ideas in here too for you to map out your week every quarter. Your life in winter is quiet with renewal, and it's a little bit about the season of winter and about the next 90 days. You have laminated tabs here, but your tabbed page is not any type of cardstock. It's the normal paper. And the paper in the daily planner is 70 pound, not 80 pound like all their other paper, because a daily planner is so thick and they couldn't fit 80-pound paper in here. We will do a pen test in here and I'll show you what the 70-pound paper performs like. It feels a lot like the 80-pound paper, as in it's smooth, maybe with a tiny bit of tooth, but it's not an overly smooth paper. Your monthly layouts are a typical Sunday start with a header space, with a question, how can you rest well this month? Note space on the dot grid, all good things start with one step, and numbered pages all throughout the daily planner also. Then every single week, you start your daily planner with a weekly refresh page. It says the date up top, which I really appreciate, what's ahead, what's on my mind, clear your head, and gain fresh perspective. Habits to tend to, so a weekly habit tracker for up to 5 habits, and what matters most this week. I love this little weekly refresh breakdown. It's so simple, yet I feel can be really nice for just starting out your week and dumping it all out of your head here, and also helping you to see what's really important this week, what matters most. Here's your daily page with a pen test. Let's look at the pen test first. I use a fountain pen even, which is so inky, a dark mild liner, a Stadler marker, a Papermate Flare marker. So I really wanted to use some markers on here. And as you can see, you may be able to see a tiny bit of ghosting, but even with all those markers and dark mild liners, you can barely see them and nothing is ghosting through. So while I would say no, it's not, you just feeling it, it doesn't feel like the 80-pound paper because it's not. It's 70-pound paper. At least that's what I remember it being in the past. It's not on the website for me to check again right now. So make sure you check under the website listing if you're concerned about that before you purchase. Let's look at the layout of the daily pages and then I'll show you how the weekend pages are. Here's your daily page. You have a today section up top where you have 3 lines, well, 4 lines if you count the top one that says today in it. So you could have like a top 3 up there, but then they also have a priority box here. So you can kind of decide how to use those. And you have a header space for a birthday or anything big going on. You have the day of the week really nice and big, and then your date bolded. You have 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with lighter lines in the middle for your half-hour line slots. And then you have more amply spaced lines over here because you're not having those half-hour line slots for to-do list tick-off. If I counted that right, you have 12 to-do list tick-offs. And then you have a little check-in at the end of the day. Did I tend to my goals? Did I express gratitude? And did I encourage someone? I really like that one. Today's win, so you can put a little gratitude or a win down there. And then you go on to your next day. Now, weekends are different. Saturday and Sunday are combined, and it is just 7 lines. You could write all the way across, or you can use their division for like appointments or to-do list items. You have a what I'm grateful for this week at the bottom. And then you go into your weekly refresh for the next week coming up. And that is the flow of the dated daily planner. At the beginning of every month, you have a little coaching here. At the end of your quarters in this daily planner, you still get quarterly refreshes, which I think is pretty amazing. So at the end of March, you have a plant good goals and you get looking at your next quarter coming up. What are your goals for the season ahead? What are the memories you want to make? And in the season, I want more of, less of, what matters most in the season. Then you have your weekly rhythm ideas. And then you have your little coaching for the season and a dot grid notes page with a little flower at the bottom for you to be able to do some extra planning on. Then you go into your next month. On a typical month, when you end, it depends on which side of the page your month ends on. So this month ends here. You get an extra dot grid notes page on this side. But like in June, your month ends on that side, so you don't have that extra dot grid notes page. So it just depends on which side the month ends on. As you've noticed on the tabs here, they're the same color that are in the Powersheets. So that is their new tab color for this year. At the end of your planner, you have your 2026 year in review roadmap, just like in Powersheets. Then you have a couple of notes pages, 4 notes pages with a beautiful flower on each. This planner is 435 pages, you guys. And yet they have made it feel doable with the 70-pound paper and by combining the weekends. To everything, there's a season. I just love that motto. Let me show you how thick this is. It is pretty thick, but honestly, not any thicker than any other daily planners that are 1 full year. Rounded corners, once again, with the gold. It feels so nice running your hand over there. All right, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna save the Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner in Berry for last and go to the Refresh Brain Dump Journal and the Cultivate Sticker Book. Let's do the Refresh Brain Dump Journal first. I have shared one of these before, I think only on Instagram in a different colorway. In fact, I'm using it right now. You can see my page in action in this brain dump. This is the beautiful floral cover. I believe they still have this one available. And then the inside pages, you have this blue on your quadrant and a little blue line up here, but that's really the only color. So the color that is throughout matches your cover. And then your other half of your pages are just task tick off boxes with due dates, and you have your months running up top where you can circle what month and date you're in. And your sections are divided by a beautiful floral page. These are journaling list pages at the back. And at the front, you have a little bit of guidance and coaching, but we should look at it in the new colorway. But I did just want to show you that cover since I think it's still up there. They have 2 new covers. This is one of them, this beautiful like pink, but it's like a little bit of magenta in there. So it's pinkish purple. It's gold foiling. It's that like plastic that almost feels like a placemat, but really durable. You still have a metal coil that is shiny gold, and it's a spiral coil instead of an O-ring. That's on most of their planners. You have curved rounded corners, and this is your Refresh Brain Dump Journal. You have a little table of contents and the mission, and then you jump right in here. They give you some coaching and guidance. Brain dump benefits. I just love how everything is so well thought out in Cultivate products. How to use your journal. So capture, sort, organize, take action. A flexible journal. Different frequencies, different times a day, different emotional states. So lots of coaching and thinking about different ways to handle your lists and using your journal. Different ways that you can use that 4-section quadrant, the Eisenhower matrix, which most of us have probably heard of, by category, by time, by type of task. They just give you a lot of guidance and ideas here to think about. Here are your brain dump pages. It is a graph grid page with the months and dates up there so you can circle what day you're on. And it's just a light graph grid. Every page is numbered so you can index and brain dump it all out. And then you can organize it into the quadrants by whatever method you choose to use for that brain dump. Of course, that can change each time. So that's like the first half of this brain dump journal. And then the last is the journaling list pages. And everything in here is of the pink hue, so it matches the cover. Pink tick off boxes, tasks, due date, days of the month up there. And that goes until the end. Then you have some journaling open pages at the end. So it's not exactly split half and half. And this is a smaller section. They will have up on their site how many pages are in here. This section has completely blank pages with just your months and dates up there and a hot pink line at the bottom and the top, just open for whatever kind of journaling or brain dumping or list that you want to do. And you have another QR code there with more resources. All right, this is your Cultivate goal setting sticker book for the year. And they have a lot of stickers that are specifically for your goal planning. Prep work, monthly reset, tending list Tuesday. In case you don't know, that's their thing. Check in with your tending list on Tuesdays. Tending list Tuesday. I made progress. Hooray, I did it. So all these can fit on your progress bar and your Powersheets. You have your flags to mark anything important throughout your prep work, but these are your color coding flags, matching those same colors as the life categories. Then you have color coding dots, which you can use to connect your yearly goals to your monthly tending list. And color hearts, the little hearts. My priority, make it happen, make it happen. I love this, grateful for this, arrows. Some celebrate page, gold stars and awards. And some gold foiled lettering like choose what matters, get after grateful, change is possible. And you have a couple of pages of that. Then you have some icon stickers just for budgeting and housework, some weather with raindrops, some tennis shoes, some pencils and file folders, and some florals. So that is your Cultivate What Matters sticker book. All right, guys, to wrap us up, last but not least, this is the berry cover that is also available in the Powersheets. I do not have the acorn or the leaf. So leaf, of course, is a green color and acorn is a tan color, but this is the berry, which represents summer. This is the snowfall, which represents winter. And this is the navy blooms, which is a little bit of each season in it and just represents a full circle of all the seasons coming together. So hopefully that might help you seeing all the covers together if you're trying to make a decision, because I know that's the hardest thing. We all care so much about our covers and it's hard to tell from a picture online what cover you want. This is your Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner. It goes for 90 days and it is undated. You have rounded corners, but no metal edges, your bright gold coil, gold foiling on the front, the gold stripes inside, but no pocket. It comes with a ruler, your nameplate page. Then your fresh start begins here. You have your roadmap, a season of progress, not perfection. Now you have seen these pages in the Powersheets. You don't get all your Powersheets pages, just you will have seen these. Come alive again, name what fires you up, learn from the past. Those pages were in your Powersheets prep work. Then you have your cultivated life evaluation in here. Upgrade your mindset, negative to positive. Name what matters and make decisions, what I want more of, what I want less of. So it's like a mini version of Powersheets in here from what I can tell. It's not every single page. I think the main pages you're missing in here are your yearly pages because this is a 90-day focus. And then everything's just a bit smaller. Brainstorm your goals in the different life sections. Set goals that stick. So you'll see how all this seems familiar from Powersheets. My goals this season for your 8 goals for your quarter. And you'll notice these pages are a little bit different from Powersheets, but it's your goal action plan page. And this is broken down into month 1, month 2, and month 3. So it's just kind of changing those prep work pages into what will work for a 90-day focus. And you have 8 goal action plans. Then you have make it easy to remember, live it out, some QR codes to scan, your weekly rhythms ideas. And then you start out with your month. Since this is undated, you write your month in, you have a blank page. Then you have your monthly layout to fill out. And then you have your monthly reset. You have your tending list. You just don't have your daily checkoffs on your tending list. But in this daily planner, you have your weekly habit trackers to check off. So instead of all those daily habit trackers down here, you have 8 weekly action items and 8 monthly goals projects on your tending list. This tending list is not perforated though. On the back, they give you some pages. It says customize these pages, fit your Fresh Start Daily Goal Planner to your unique goals with wildcard pages. Wildcard pages are these extra insert pages that you can washi tape into your planner. You know what? I just happen to have a set from last year right here. I'm not sure if they've changed it all to this year, but I bet they're the same. It's 25 goal setting worksheets. And these can fit in your Powersheets on some of those blank dot grid pages and or in your weekly planner. So like here's an organization and decluttering one, a what to read next one, go to dinners, my legacy pages, perpetual calendar, a fun list that you can just add in to your daily planner on the blank pages or to your Powersheets. They still offer free printables of these wildcard pages. And this is just on really nice thick paper and it's already done for you. So just FYI, in case you want to pick up a wildcard page pack. Notes pages, then you have your weekly refresh, same that was in your dated daily planner. And your page layout is the same as your dated daily planner, but you write in the date and you circle the day of the week. But everything else is the same, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with the half-hour line slots. 12 to do tick off boxes, and you have full pages for Saturday and Sunday since this is an undated planner. So if you're someone who loves the Powersheet goal system and you need a daily planner, this would be what you get. It combines it all in one in a very portable book. And you get a fresh start every 90 days. At the end of your month, you do get a month in review and then a notes page opposite, a colored notes page, and starting your next month. At the very end of your 90-day daily planner, you have a marking the season. So instead of waiting till the end of the year, you get to kind of recap every single season. To everything there is a season. Dot grid, front and back, and then the end, you did it. And this is just their little belly band on here. This paper is 80 pound, just just like the Power Sheets. So only the full year dated daily planner is at 70 pound. This one is 6 by 9 inches. I'm just telling you this because I happen to have it on the belly band, and it's 196 pages in here. So we don't need to do a pen test in here because we've already done a pen test on the 80 pound paper in the Power Sheets, but that is your fresh start daily goal planner. I just have a lot of flakes up here from all the packaging, but you can see how this is coated linen, so everything just sloughs right off of it. All right, guys, that wraps up our Power Sheets review. I have an ongoing 10% off code with Cultivate What Matters. You can use it over and over again on every single purchase all year long. I love so many of their products. I love their pencil bags, their zipper pouches, their Write the Word journals. And I've reviewed a lot of those products in the past here under my Cultivate What Matters playlist. And also you can see there how I've used Power Sheets in the past. Also, I have an affiliate link with Cultivate What Matters. Whenever you use my affiliate links to click through to make a purchase, you help keep this channel going. Thank you so much. All right, guys, you know the drill. Let's take a big, deep breath in. The deepest breath you've taken all day. Maybe the deepest breath you've taken all week. And slowly out through the mouth. This might have been the first week of school for some of you guys because it was here. And I know it can be an intense time of year for moms. So wherever you are in the back to school hustle, even if you're not involved in the back to school hustle, I feel like things start getting busier as the summer ends. There's a different feeling and energy as the fall starts. Let's all remember that we have to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. Remember how much just a simple smile can mean to someone. Think about that as you're out and about today and give a smile to someone. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.